Released new video tonight of two Rikers Island correction officers being attacked. One incident happened Wednesday when an inmate sucker punched an officer standing in the hallway. The other incident happened about 2 weeks ago. An inmate charged an officer, pinning him against a wall, then started punching and choking.
Some other news this afternoon. A Rikers Island inmate who was captured after attempting to escape last Thursday tried to escape again today. Authorities say 37-year-old Arthur Brown climbed a fence at around 9 this morning during recreation. He was quickly caught on a rooftop. Last week, Brown scaled a wall and jumped into the river in an apparent attempt to swim to freedom.
Rikers inmate was by another inmate, and the alleged attacker is believed to be a Trinitarios gang member. And sources say the 27-year-old inmate approached the victim from behind and choked him with his hands. Corrections officer tried to pull the inmate off of the victim, but they were unsuccessful.
After one of their own was brutally beaten by gang members at Rikers. He is now in critical condition, that officer, and the beating captured on video now sparking outrage at the chaos at Rikers.
Those four people in there, they may look like kids, but they damn near killed this correction officer.
All 18 years old already locked up at Rikers for violent crimes, including attempted. Today, the known gang members were facing a judge for their alleged role in the brutal attack of a correction officer Saturday night. Authorities say that Stephen Espinal sucker punching Jean Souffrant. Other inmates then stomp and beat the unconscious 39-year-old. Officials maintain Espinal planned the savage attack and, referring to the officer in a recorded call, said, quote, "Yo, he acting like a super cop." Had recently cited Espinal for refusing to remove a covering on a window in his cell.
The officers and captain involved face charges of reckless endangerment and official misconduct. Handcuffed correction officers quietly entered the courtroom, inside only uttering the words, "Not guilty. Not guilty. Not guilty." Outside, the family of Nicholas Feliciano holding his picture, making noise.
At the end of the day, even though these officers are going to get charged, my Nicholas will never be the same due to the amount of damage that was done to him.
Plagued with ongoing problems and the center of a major city controversy is New York's main jail complex, Rikers Island. This year in New York City, 18 people have died while in jail or correction department custody. The latest one in Rikers. And 16 died last year. And now a damaging report from the Board of Correction blames the staff in the deaths of 9 incarcerated people, saying they missed medical visits, which played an indirect factor.
The Department of Corrections has confirmed that 3 of its employees have been suspended as it investigates what went wrong. According to officials, 29-year-old Ardit Billa was found unresponsive in his jail cell on Rikers Island early Saturday morning by a captain and an officer conducting a tour. He was pronounced dead a half-hour later. According to court documents and a criminal complaint, Billa was arrested earlier this year for assault and petty larceny. He was being held at a unit that offers mental health programs. The organization Freedom Agenda has been leading the charge to try and shut down Rikers, citing a history of inhumane conditions and racial inequities.
The sprawling Rikers Island jail complex has become a front line of violence and dysfunction in New York City's jail system. In mid-2021, the Bronx District Attorney announced 37 indictments stemming from vicious attacks inside the complex that included stabbings, beatings, and even pouring boiling water on other detainees. Many of these assaults occurred when assailants overwhelmed lone officers before repeatedly stomping or slashing fellow inmates. By early 2025, the NYC Comptroller's Office reported staggering rates of violence. In February alone, there were 53 assaults on staff, 15 slashings or stabbings, and 542 inmate fights. In March, the numbers climbed: 60 assaults on staff and 609 fights. Meanwhile, 3 people died within 2 weeks in custody on Rikers, prompting advocates to say the jail is in a state of absolute emergency of violence and neglect. These numbers reflect a broader and longer-term trend. A year-end 2024 report described conditions as well above the already unconstitutional levels of violence that triggered federal oversight in 2015. The report showed that stabbings and slashings had peaked at 88 per 1,000 detainees in FY 2022 and remained near those levels in 2024. The Federal Monitor has flagged serious questions about data reliability, yet, even with doubts, the evidence of harm is clear. Guards describe walking into tinderbox housing units where detention and gang control go unchecked. Inmates speak of streaks of panic and terror at night, and family members demand answers about deaths and beatings behind bars. In May 2025, U.S. District Judge Laura Taylor Swain stripped the city of full control over the facility and appointed a remediation manager to take direct oversight of operations, citing the extraordinarily high rates of violence, stabbings, fights, and staff assaults that continue unabated. The decision formalizes what many already feel. Rikers isn't just failing, it is in crisis. Taken together, the surveillance, the death toll, staff injuries, and housing unit rebellions reinforce a grim reality. Rikers is more than overcrowded, it is dangerously uncontrolled, with institutional rot and violence that threaten both inmates and the men and women charged with custody. For any documentary investigating the most violent jails in America, Rikers stands out as a stark, unresolved case of systemic failure.